What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going over my picks for UFC 310. As always, if you enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It goes a real long way here. So yeah, let's get into it. So as we all know, this card is absolutely fucking stacked from the early prelims all the way to the main event. So normally I would go over just the main card, but I'm going to go over a couple prelim fights first, just two, to save time. The first fight I would like to go over is Randy Brown versus one of my favorite fighters, one of my favorite up-and-comers, the future of the welterweight division, the anti-French weapon, the ultimate fighter, the real ultimate fighter, Tresean Gore's dad, Brian fucking Battle. Obviously, I'm pretty biased towards Brian Battle, but you know what? I think this fight is a lot closer than people give it credit for. In Battle's last fight against Jusei, I noticed that he doesn't really move his head that much. His head movement isn't really there. And his striking was... He's a volume striker, you know? He's not really a technical boxer striker. And I think with the head movement specifically and how slow he can be sometimes to the punch, I think that'll give him problems against Randy Brown. In Randy's last fight against... I don't know how to say his name. Liu, I don't know. He looked pretty good and quick with his striking in the first round. You know, I think that could give Battle issues if he doesn't really get to move in his head. But to be honest, I don't know if Brown can even really threaten Brian Battle in any way. Ultimately, this is MMA. You need more than just the striking, and I think Battle could do what he wants with Brown on the ground. We haven't really seen a lot of grappling from either guys, but in the last fight Battle had against Jusei, Battle was confident enough in his grappling to even engage in it, engage in the clinch, engage in takedown attempts, stuff like that. So I don't know if we could say the same about Brown, especially lately. I think if it really came down to it, Battle could take down Brown and do what he wants. Another thing too is their pace. We know Brian Battle will take some shots to give a shot. He'll come barreling in the same way he did in the first round. He'll do the same in the second or third. I think that'll get Brown problems as well. I think Brown will come out strong, win the initial exchanges, maybe. But I think Battle will eventually impose his game plan, kind of get in there. And unless Randy Brown clips Battle and swings and bangs with him, I don't see a way for Rude Boy to get the job done. I got to go with Brian Battle, probably via TKO in the second round, end of the second round, early third. So that was the first prelim fight I wanted to go over. There's one more I wanted to go over. I'm sure you guys could clearly guess which one that is. Dominic Reyes versus Anthony Smith. I'm just joking, guys. Obviously, we're going to talk about Evlov versus Sterling. Now, this fight's placement drew a lot of controversy from the MMA Twitter community, which is an absolute fucking cesspool, but that's a video for another day. Another interesting thing about this fight, both of these guys have been, you know, they've been on the wrong end of a riot, a lynch mob, so to speak, of the MMA community. So, Aljo isn't really well liked. You know, a lot of people think he's a crybaby. I'm a big fan of Aljo personally. I don't get all the hate, but it is what it is. And then Evlov, of course, gets a lot of hate for being boring, being gifted wins, things like that. I don't know how fair that is. To say he's being gifted stuff when, if we're being real, you know, if you look at his history, he should be fighting for a belt. But it seems like they're giving him the Bilal treatment. They're going to wait for him to feel it's absolutely undeniable, and even then they might push it a few more fights. Now, obviously, the big question here is who's going to grapple better, who's the better grappler. Now, Aljo, we know Aljo can grapple real good, same with Evlov. They're both known for their, you know, takedowns and shit, grapple skills, not takedowns. But you know what? I think Aljo's gonna make it look easy. Pretty much, this is really dumb, basic MMA math. It's hard for me to overlook this, though. Evlov has had struggles with really good strikers, especially in his last fight. A lot of people feel like Arnold Allen won that fight. Whereas we saw Aljo dismantle and absolutely dominate a very, very good striker in Calvin Kattar. So, will that apply and transition well to this fight? I don't know. I don't know if that is indicative of their actual striking skills. Will Aljo be able to fuck Mavzar up on the feet if he can as well on the ground. I don't know about that, but I don't think Mavzar will be able to fuck Aljo up on the feet, if that makes sense. I think Aljo will be able to handle his own in that category, not take damage, and it'll just come down to their grappling ultimately. I just think Aljo is going to be too big, too strong for Evlov to really throw around and grapple on the ground, let alone that. Like, I didn't even throw in the skill there. Aljo is also skilled to go grapple for grapple, sub for sub with Evlov. So, like I said, I'm a big fan of Aljo. I don't think he deserves all the hate he gets, and he doesn't get all the credit he deserves. We're gonna have to hop on the Aljo train for this one. I think Aljo is gonna win unanimous decision. I don't think he'll be able to finish Evlov. I just don't see Evlov putting himself in that position. But yeah, I would say Aljo wins this via unanimous decision. Maybe split. Now we are on the first fight of the main card. I gotta say bravo to the UFC for this fight placement, sorry. Nate the Train Landwehr versus Duho Choi. This is a banger fight. This is how you start a card off. This is how you get people in their seats. This is how you set the tone for the rest of the fucking night. You put in two absolute fucking madmen, warriors in there at a high-speed collision. That's just what you fucking do. Duho Choi, we all know, he comes in there, kill or be killed, finish or be finished. He's going to come out there and give Nate a fight. We know that. He's going to come out and just go for it, swang and bang. Nate, same thing. We can really say the same thing. Nate's in there to fight every time. His fights are always exciting. He knows how to cut a promo on the mic. He knows how to make things exciting. Man, I can't find the video. If you guys know what video I'm talking about, please send it to me on Twitter or something like that. I'll have the description in the below, link in the description, fuck. But it's basically where Nate is like posting up like this, like, well, let me squat down below, like, It's like at the airport. I don't remember who was fighting, but he was posed up like, just like looking at him all fucking cool. Ever since that clip went viral, I've been a massive fan of Nate's, man. I just think that shit was fucking badass. That's some like JoJo Bizarre Adventure anime shit, posing up like that. I wish fighters did that more funky poses like that. In terms of the actual fight, I think Choi's gonna come out balls to the fucking wall. I think he's going to go for the finish against Nate right away. Very similar to the Emerson fight for Nate. I think Nate might get dropped once, maybe even twice. He might get hurt. And it'll just come down to Nate then and there. Can Nate recover like the way he did Emerson? Pretty much, yeah. I really think it's going to be the exact same as that Emerson fight. Duho Choi is going to come out aggressive as shit. He's going to do this crazy shit. He might hurt Nate the Train, and it'll come down, does Nate have that dog in him still? Will he be able to recover? And if he recovers, I think he's going to crack Duhoi's fucking jaw. It seems like Nate clearly has a lot more power in his hands, especially in those close mid-range clinch interactions. And if Duho Choi really comes in sloppy, Nate could slip one, boom, pop him with a right, get him in a fucking tie clinch, uppercut, something like that. Either way, this fight is going to be a fucking banger. We are really in for a treat, but I'm going to have to go with Nate, the fucking Train Landwehr, via KO in the first round. And if it doesn't happen like that, if it doesn't go down like that, that is because Duho Choi knocked out Nate the Train in the first round. So the next fight on the main card, this is the controversial fight that really got a lot of people talking once we got the fight placements. It is Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. A lot of people, myself included, felt like this spot should have went to Aljo and Evlov. I mean, I get it. There are politics at play here. The Gracie name, Aljo probably isn't held in the highest regard amongst the UFC brass right now. But in my opinion, that there still isn't really any good reason for these guys to be over Aljo and Evlov, a former champion, one of the better champions of his division. To skip over him for a main card spot like this, and it's not even like these guys are like the main event of the prelims. They're just down there on the fucking prelims, you know. Not to disrespect Vicente Luque and Themba Gorimbo, but how the fuck are these two above Aljo and Evlov? That doesn't make any sense. But I digress. I honestly don't really have too much to say in regards to the X's and O's of this fight. I mean, just look at their last performances. Kron looked fucking terrible, wiping his ass with the fucking mat. Nobody wants to watch that shit. And you know what? You could really say the same with Bryce Mitchell. His last performance didn't end up that good, but the actual performance was better than ass scooting the way Gracie was. Like, I know the result was significantly worse for Mitchell because he got put out bad, but at least he was fighting. He was there. I don't know what the fuck Kron was doing. So unless Kron made some major changes from when we saw him last, I don't think he has anything for Bryce Mitchell. I think Mitchell's just gonna fucking dog walk this guy. So with that being said, I got Bryce via freedom. Now we're on to the next fight of the main card. We got some heavyweights, Ciryl Gane versus Alexander Volkov. Now, with Volkov's recent resurgence, so this is a pretty good fight. But you know what? I'm gonna just cut the shit. I think Ciryl is about to smoke him. I know it's been over a year since Gane last fought, and I know there's been a lot of memes coming out. Yeah, he's been out making movies. He's been fucking around, jerking the janky, whatever the fuck he's been up to. But I don't believe that. I think he's actually been training hard. I think he's been locked in. And recently, when he was on Ariel Helwani's show, he revealed that he wanted to fight Tom. He was ready to fight Tom. He signed to fight Tom. Tom said no. But we all know that's bullshit. Ciryl ducked Tom way back then. Not way back then, like a year ago. So fuck that. We know that's bullshit. The fact that he was willing to fight Tom, he was ready to, should show you how much he must have been training, how prepared and how confident he is in his ability. Like I said, Volkov's win against Pavlovich, that was amazing. That was unexpected. A beautiful performance. He shut him out. But I just don't think he'll be able to do that against a guy as quick and light on the feet as Gane and as good of a striker. I would imagine Gane has been working on his grappling heavily, his takedown defense heavily, if he planned on fighting Tom Aspinall. You know what I mean? And I do know Volkov has the size on him. So obviously I feel like Volkov will attempt some grappling here. So unless Ciryl has been actually doing fuck all for the last year and hasn't been practicing any wrestling and really has been chilling out in Hollywood filming movies, I don't see Volkov winning this fight in any way. I'm gonna have to go with Ciryl via TKO, probably end second round, maybe early in the third, but I could also see a unanimous decision for Ciryl Gane as well. Alright guys, now we're on to the people's main event. I'm probably most excited for this fight, to be honest. Somebody's has to go. We got Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian McCuckey Gary. I know a lot of people think this is going to be a blowout, an absolute shutout for Shavkat. And, you're not wrong for thinking that if you're one of those people. There's a handful of reasons why people think that. Shavkat has all finishes, including over some opponents that Ian Gary had to go to the distance with. So, simple MMA math would tell you Shavkat's about to fuck Gary up. Also, unless you've been living under a rock for the last year, there's been a lot of rumors of Gary getting his ass beat in sparring. A lot of those have been coming out. First, it was he got knocked out by Leon. That's what was coming out. Leon knocked him out. Then it came out, no, it wasn't Leon. It was actually Shavkat. But now, ultimately, Shavkat himself has came out and cleaned the record, set the record straight. He submitted Ian Gary in training, and that his wife has the footage. Slick little line by Shavkat right there. But yeah, that happened. That happened. And it seems Gary has acknowledged it as well. So if I got any of those details wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments. But I think we're giving that too much credence. We're giving that too much weight. I think people are severely underrating Ian Gary. Ian Gary is fucking good, guys. He is very, very good. He definitely has the ability to hurt Shavkat on the feet. Point blank, if Joff Neal hurt Shavkat on the feet, Ian Gary can hurt Shavkat on the feet. So I don't know why people are acting like there isn't a possibility, there isn't a universe out there where Gary clips Shavkat, because there is. And dare I say, it's even likely to happen. Now, hear me out on that. Ian is a slick striker, accurate striker, boom, boom, boom. And Shavkat isn't exactly known, nor has he shown to really, master the sweet science, be Money Mayweather, bob and weave punches. He's not really known for being that guy. He's known for fucking barreling through, taking your shot, and snatching you up and doing what he wants with you. That's what he's known for. But like I said, if Jav could land on Shavkat, I am very confident Ian will be able to land a nasty 1-2 here and there. Now, let's not lie to ourselves here. Another reason a lot of people think Shavkat is going to win is the grappling. That's very reasonable. Very reasonable. We haven't really seen enough from Ian to really show that he has that physicality, wrestling ability, takedown defense to stop Shavkat from throwing him around the ring. But if this means anything, now this is from the word of Chael Sonnen, from Good Guy, Bad Guy. So make of this what you will. But per Chael Sonnen, Damian Maia, the man himself, has came out and is really vouching for Ian Gary. He's saying Ian Gary can hold himself on the ground and that Ian Gary is about to shock the world. Now, I know it's been a while since Damian Maia has been in the game, and the game has really evolved since then, but you really can't take that as nothing. You have to take that into your opinion for the pick a little bit, in my opinion. You got to respect experts like that. That's kind of the big question of this fight. Can Ian Gary hold his own on the ground? Can he handle himself in the clinch? Will he be able to flip that on Shavkat, flip the damage on Shavkat? How will he fare in scrambles? Right, I said it, I'll say it again. Will he even be strong enough to get a guy like Shavkat off of him if Shavkat's pressing him against the fence? I'm not 100% sure on that, and because of that, I think my pick will make some people scratch their heads, but I'm going to have to go with Ian Gary. I think Ian wouldn't have taken this fight if he didn't think he would lose. Dare I say, I don't know where. God, this is such a brain rot thing I'm about to say, but I was watching like a video somewhere. I don't remember who it was. It might have been on the MMA Hour, but like the vibe was, or Ariel Show or whatever it is now. The vibe was like Shavkat may have peaked, whereas Ian Gary is still growing. So Ian may have gotten significantly better from that last training session they had, and knowing, okay, this is what Shavkat is going to do to me. This is how he wins. I know that, and I know how to break that now. So I know that's kind of a reach. And speaking of reach, I just saw Shavkat has a 3-inch reach on Ian Gary. But Ian has 2 inches in height, so I guess it's kind of irrelevant. Yeah, Shavkat has a lot more ways to win than Ian Gary here, just on paper. Shavkat should seemingly take down Ian pretty easily and submit him, but you know what? I have faith in Vegan Boy. I think the cuck is going to get it done, man. I think he's going to go out there, and I think he's going to put Shavkat's fucking lights out. So with that being said, I got Ian Gary. My cat's meowing. I got Ian Gary via an early finish, early TKO of Shavkat. Probably in the second round, I'm going to say. He's going to get his flow going, and he's going to, boom, crack Shavkat bad. If that doesn't happen, and he lets this turn into an all-out brawl/war, Shavkat is going to finish Ian Gary. This cannot go to a war. We've seen Shavkat in a war. Shavkat is built for war. So, but I don't think it'll go down like that. I got Ian Gary TKO. All right, guys. Now we are on to the main event of UFC 310. We got a flyweight title bout. Alexander Pantoja, the reigning flyweight champ, versus Kai Asakura, a UFC debutant. So that's already interesting in and of itself. And to be completely honest with you, I didn't know too much about Kai until this fight was signed. I was familiar with the name. I would see tweets about it and shit like that. And when he first signed with the UFC, that's kind of when he really came on my radar. So I had to go back and watch a couple of his fights, and I gotta say, I think they picked the right guy. This guy is very good. Very, very good. A pretty good striker. He's willing to fight, he's in there to fight. But something that stuck out like a sore fucking thumb. Kai's last fight was over a year ago at this point. Maybe a little bit under a year, but a year ago. It was in December 2023. Whereas Pantoja fought in, I believe, March or May of this year. So I think that's going to bite Kai in the ass. So to come into the UFC fighting a certified killer like Pantoja, who's, look at his record. I mean, Jesus Christ. All those W's. Again, look at the names next to him. To come in and face against Pantoja at the main event of a stacked card where the crowd is probably going to be going crazy based off of the fights leading up to it. That's going to get them hyped. That's a really big ask. That is a really, really big ask. And we're going to see if Kai can handle the pressure. We're going to find out. Kai's record may be questionable, but I think his skills really do speak for themselves. And I think had he been given a layup fight, he would have hurt that guy bad and would have made a case for himself for the title shot anyways. So we're kind of cutting out the middleman here, and we're just bringing him directly to the title shot. I'm okay with that, personally. I don't think there was really anybody else I would rather see over Asakura in this spot. If there are other people you guys would have liked to see, drop that down below. I'm interested in hearing who you would rather see, but I don't think there's anybody else. Kai, he's a very strong puncher, I think that's where he'll shine on the feet, his striking. He looks like a cleaner striker than Pantoja. Pantoja, especially in his last fight against Urseg, the weird little blitz things he was doing, I think Kai is going to be able to really tee off on Pantoja during those moments. The level of competition, that really speaks for itself, you know what I mean? Just look at Pantoja, look at who he's fought, look at his record, and compare that against the guys Asakura fought. Asakura lost to Manel Kape, a current UFC guy right now. So, I don't know how people can just so, confidently pick Asakura. I know the odds are leaning towards Pantoja, which they should. But I'm seeing a lot of people pick Asakura, and I didn't know he had that height, 3 inches height on Pantoja like that. I did not know that, so that's interesting. But yeah, anyways, I think Kai will have a lot of success on the feet, and he will kind of tee off on Pantoja. But we know Pantoja, he's gonna eat that fucking shot and keep coming at you. It doesn't matter how many times you hit him, he's gonna eat that shit, and he's gonna come grab you, scramble with you, throw you down. And Kai's really good in the scramble as well. That's what I'm really interested to see these guys scramble. Scrambles in general at flyweight tend to be pretty exciting, but with these two, that should be pretty good. I really don't think Kai is going to be able to perform at his top level here. The ring rust, the pressure of being in a UFC title fight in his debut, main event, I think all of that is going to be too much. And even if he was ready for it, I don't know if he can beat Pantoja. We've seen Pantoja handle a good striker like Asakura. We've seen that. Urseg is a good example. But we have never seen Asakura take on a solid fucking fighter like Pantoja where you're going to have to fucking kill him to get him out of there. We haven't seen that from Asakura. We've seen him have a lot of crazy finishes. He's very aggressive, knees to the body and stuff. His knees will probably give Pantoja a lot of issues, especially when Pantoja blitzes. But aside from a flash KO, which we haven't seen happen to Pantoja recently or ever, I just don't know what Kai will be able to do. I think Pantoja will eventually get Kai down and just kind of do what he wants and grind to a unanimous decision. Or I guess I'm more leaning towards I think Pantoja will be able to submit Kai Asakura probably in the 3rd or 4th round. I think his pace is going to be too much. I think he's going to wear down on Asakura. He's going to take all those shots that Asakura is giving, and he's that blitz is going to eventually keep coming through, and he's going to keep grabbing Asakura and probably catch Asakura when he's catching his breath or something and grab his neck, and we know the story from there. Yeah, those are my picks, guys. That's all we got. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends. It goes a real long way here. Make sure to add me on Twitter/X, whatever you prefer to call it. I don't care. And make sure to check out the live, I'm going to be live reacting to this fight all the way from the early prelims. I'll probably start halfway through the early prelims to the main event. We're going to be here live. And of course, we're going to do the usual gimmick. For every finish, I'm going to be taking a fat blinker. So if that's what you're into, come watch. If that's not what you're into, come watch anyways. You'll have fun. So I'm going to be making predictions on all the other fights I didn't get to in this video. So if you want to see those, make sure to check out my channel. Here in a couple weeks, I'll upload the video highlights of my reaction. But yeah, guys, comment down below which fight are you most excited to see. Let me know what you think of my picks, what you disagree with, what you agree with, how casual they are, how not casual they are. Just let me know. Comment down below. I love to read all the opinions. And follow me on Twitter if you really want to argue with me. Over on Twitter, I'm always arguing with somebody about their stupid fucking picks because my opinions are always objectively correct. And yeah, that's all we got, guys. We're going to be back with a lot more UFC content. Make sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell. We're going to really start pumping out videos. So that's all I got. See you guys.